This is Niels on Dynasty. Sorry about that. Had to stand for the Vallejo national anthem. Please like, share, and subscribe. Say hello to all the cops and firemen and ambulances that always run around this town. Buy some silver and some platinum. And be kind, helpful, and grateful because it's always better than being a jerk. And make sure to spay and neuter your pets too. That's always a good thing. Uh, this is a video is not about any of that. It's about what the hell is it about? It's about oh yeah, energy. It's about energy. What you don't know, what they might not be telling you, what they might be telling you, and what you should know if they're not telling you. So, having said that, which is absolutely freaking nothing, I'm going to go ahead and get to the report here. I'm going to throw my glasses on. Hope the hell my computer didn't shut itself off on sleep mode. No, it didn't. Good. All right, so let's bring you this report. This is about energy. It's about green energy, about green oil, about yellow oil, about red oil. It's about all the lies they tell you. Here you go. For the rest of the story.
One group doesn't mind the war, though. In Ukraine, in Gaza, it really doesn't matter for them. And that group is big oil. You see, war equals instability. Instability equals higher prices. And higher oil price equals bumper profits. How much money are we talking about? $281 billion. That's how much the 5 largest listed oil companies have made since February 2022. $281 billion. Since February 2022, meaning since the Ukraine war. So 24 months, 281 billion in profits. Which are these oil companies? BP, Shell, Chevron, ExxonMobil, and Total Energies. All of them are European or American. BP and Shell made $94 billion in profits. The other 3 made $187 billion. But why is this news? After all, companies are designed to make money. It also means more returns for investors. So what's the problem here? Well, there are 2 problems. Number one, these profits coincided with a tough time for households. Our inflation was going through the roof. In some countries, it was in double digits. Yet big oil was making big money, and their profits fueled our inflation. That's problem number one. Problem number 2 is the setback to climate goals. The oil industry, you see, makes up 15% of total emissions. It's one of the biggest causes of climate change. But the same oil industry is making big bucks. It is giving massive returns to investors. In 2022, big oil rewarded shareholders with $104 billion. In 2023, with around $100 billion. Now, do you see the problem here? Why will oil companies turn green if oil is making so much money and it's making investors so happy? They have no reason to change. So most big oil companies are going back to default. Take Shell, for example. Last year, they cut 330 jobs in the low carbon businesses. A new CEO took charge in 2023. He says expanding oil and gas production is the priority. What about green energy? For now, it will have to take a back seat. Same with BP. They had promised to reduce emissions by the end of this decade by around 35 to 40%. That was the promise, but now BP says that's not possible. So their new target is 20 to 30%. So big oil is going back on its promise. And why is that? What has changed in the last 2 years? For starters, oil prices have shot up in the last few years. Just look at the numbers. The pandemic years were tough for big oil. Most factories were shut. Cars were locked away in the garage, so oil demand was very low. The prices fell to $32 in 2020. I'm talking about $32 per barrel. That's what it was in 2020. By December 2021, things looked up. Oil prices had recovered to $67 per barrel. Then came Russia's war on Ukraine. By mid-2022, the prices had topped $112 per barrel. Big oil firms were minting money again. Another jolt came in late 2023. Hamas launched an attack on Israel, so West Asia was plunged into war. Oil prices rose once again. Today, it's around $82 per barrel. So it makes sense to invest in fossil fuels again. There's a lot of money to be made. Secondly, big oil has found a solution to keep investors quiet. Shower them with money. Shell gave rewards worth $23 billion in 2023. Their profits had fallen compared to 2022, yet Shell decided to splurge on investors. In fact, $23 billion is 6 times what they invested in green energy. BP did something similar. They had promised to raise dividends by 4% every year, but the actual raise last year in 2023 was 10%. So investors are more than happy to give their blessings. Activists have tried to put pressure on them. Some have disrupted investors' meetings, but nothing seems to work. So, what's the solution? We say government policy. There's been talk of imposing windfall taxes on big oil, or maybe a green cess. But we need more than talks. We need actions. Like I said at the start, companies are designed to make money. Investors are hardwired to want money. There is no point trying to change that. Instead, governments must incentivize big oil to invest in green energy. How? Through carrots like subsidies and sticks like taxes. If not, big oil won't change its ways.
Well, there you go. I think personally, the best way for activists to make change is invest in those big businesses, make that money, and use it against them. That seems like a no-brainer to me. But anyhow, just wanted to bring you this report to let you know that they're not 100% correct because Chevron and Phillips 66 have already gone into agreement out here in Northern California and signed on to build 4 hydrogen power plants, for which I think it's Chevron is going to be building 30 hydrogen fueling stations throughout California. So they are diversifying. These reports, although true, are not totally factual. Uh, Again, they're Chevron and Phillips 66 or Phillips 99 or whatever out here in Northern California are building 4 hydrogen plants in the next couple of years. 2 of the 5 used to be 5 oil refining plants here in Northern California in the Bay Area. Right, I got one over here, got one across there, one down there, one over there, and one over there. There's 5 of them. 2 of them quit producing gasoline. They're producing biodiesel. So things are changing. And this report, I think, is that they gave, it was from, I believe, who the hell was that from? TIG Global or something like that. No, First Post, maybe. Anyhow, whoever they were, they have their perspective. And just like our news, they will tell you the truth, but leave out stuff that'll still skew your opinion. I'm not pro oil. I'm not pro gas. I'm not pro anything. I'm not anti anything. I'm pro facts. So that's why I narrate some of these reports to fill in the gaps that they leave out. And I believe it's intentionally to get you to change your feeling